So Tyler, how many PAXs have you been to?
Let's see, I think the first one was 2010. I think I might have skipped 11, then 12, 13, and there's this one. And then I went to 2 PAX Easts. So, it's quite a few.
Yeah, it's pretty good resume, PAXs.
Are you saying you've been to more PAXs?
I've been going since 08. I've been here almost since the beginning.
All right, fine, you win.
In Seattle, yeah. It's a good show though. I mean, it's a good show for PC gamers. It's become this really interesting show for PC gamers. Like,
yeah,
if you're not going to QuakeCon, for example, down in Texas, it's kind of become one of the bigger lands in North America.
I feel like if you just kind of casually pay attention to it,
yeah,
you're gonna see people in Mario costumes and go, well, it's kind of a console show. There's all these people playing DSs on beanbag chairs, but it's a huge LAN and huge PC games, and then the indie stuff is mostly PC. That's where indie really thrives, right?
Yeah.
So it's a great show for PC gamers. I'm always really happy to be here.
It's always been about that experience of in the LAN, playing these little tournaments, playing TF2, playing Counter-Strike, playing League or something.
Right.
With like my internet friends or people I don't know, and just like people I meet there, other game writers, like forming those kind of tight teams. I feel like there's probably a generation of PC gamers out there, right, that have not had that experience of playing in a big room with a bunch of other PC gamers.
Oh yeah, the internet's so convenient. You matchmake, and you're in a game, and like the idea of lugging your PC over to a friend's house to play when it's not necessary and hasn't been for a long time seems kind of crazy.
Well, you don't get to shake the hands of your opponents.
I know,
and
but
see them.
It really is so much better. Like my fondest memories are in like a gaming cafe kind of setting, playing Warcraft 3, drinking balls when we drank that. I've never seen that drink. But yeah, this huge LAN area where people bring their own PCs, crazy like case mods and stuff. Like it is PC gaming culture, and it's like it's not just QuakeCon. PAX is great. Yeah,
it's not front and center in PAX. I mean, obviously, like the booth stuff, the sort of theme park experience is what's front and center. That's taking up the most space. But that's pretty good too. Like if you want to wait in line for an hour or two to play Evolve or Borderlands or Dragon Age or whatever game's like most important to you, that's all right.
Yeah, so Evolve is something, are you seeing that? Or we're both seeing that?
Yeah, we're both going to play that on Saturday in the morning. Yeah,
nice. So talk to them about the delay.
Yeah, it got delayed until 2015. That was a little bit unexpected, but also not, because they hadn't really revealed that much. So just want to get a sense of what is going to be, what we expect to be one of the biggest shooters of next year now.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
And then this year there's Dragon Age, which I think you have an interview lined up.
Yeah, we're gonna get to play it too. So yeah, Dragon Age is coming out soon, and surprised it has multiplayer now.
Oh my god!
We're gonna get to play that
multiplayer,
4-person multiplayer.
It's so surprising, except kind of not really, because EA explicitly said every game will have multiplayer. But
and they want to make $1 billion off DLC this year. So
I'm not cynical about it though. I mean, Mass Effect 3 had really good multiplayer. People are still playing that.
Yeah.
I played it for quite a while.
I put like $30 into that. That's fun.
It was really fun, and I'm just curious, like, if someone came to me and said, hey, we're making a new Dragon Age, it's going to have multiplayer, you're the designer, I would be at a total loss. So I'm really excited to see what they did with it.
Yeah, but it's a good opportunity for interviews for us. You're going to get the chance to talk to Chris Roberts, I think.
Yeah, who's always really fun to talk to, really passionate and interesting, loves PC gaming, obviously, and I don't know. I have a lot of questions for him.
A lot of people do.
I think you do too.
Like 500,000 people do.
Yeah. What are you doing with all this money? And it's crazy how successful. I remember when I first wrote about Star Citizen, I think in 2012, he said, I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like, oh, we expect like 2 or 3 million from the crowd.
Yeah.
And it's insane. So I want to see like how his expectations have changed.
And there's also like the Indie Megabooth, which is just this great, like really dense display of what's happening.
It's like the most important part of the show floor for me, because it really represents the original spirit of PAX to me, before sort of the EAs and Bethesdas and we're getting huge booths. It was really like the idea of people making games in their garages. I feel like, I wasn't here in 2008.
Well, what I love about the Indie Megabooth is it feels like this wonderful bake sale, right? Like, there's no separation between like the creators and their product. It's just like they're right there. They're going to shake your hand. They're going to make eye contact. They're going to listen to your questions. They're going to say thank you. Like, it's
not someone that PR hired to be there to walk you through the game. It's the person who made the game just standing there showing you what they made. That's the exciting thing about the Indie Megabooth. Like you said, it's just all these different games, all these different styles of game. you know, I mean, you know what you're going to get at the sort of big publishers, right? But you kind of never know what you're going to play there. So, yeah, I look forward to covering that.
All right, well, let's have a good show. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You're really going for it. So Tyler, what did we think about Evolve? We just got to play a little bit here. I was the monster.
You killed me, you bastard.
You killed me once.
Yeah, you had a bit of a handicap though.
Yeah, I was on a controller, you were on a mouse and keyboard. Yeah.
Just the only way to play. But yeah, I was the trapper, and I was Maggie, a character I hadn't played before. She's got the dog, Lucy, that goes around really independently and can sniff out monster tracks and revive down players. So like, really a vital thing, but a passive bonus, which was cool. And you were the
Kraken. So it was my first time playing as that monster. There's only 2 monsters revealed right now, and this is the one that has like flying abilities. It's more of a ranged attacker when it's in the air. A little more, ranged and distance and passive, defensive.
Yeah, you were hitting us with like, what did you have? You had like a ball a homing ball?
Yeah, I have these sort of like homing mines that I can drop down. I've got an area effect sort of electric attack. I've got like this nice push attack. That was my favorite one, just like pushing you guys around. Or like the medic would come over and heal, and I would just like knock the medic away mid-heal.
Yeah, medic's really the most important hunter. Though the trapper, I love, like, you have this mobile arena, right? You throw down and it makes this big thing around you, because I kept trapping you in it. That's good. It's this visible, like, helping your team, changing the tide of the battle, basically, trapping the monster. The fight kind of starts then, so it feels good to do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was just kind of trying to pelt you with my gun.
Yeah. So far about Evolve, like, what I'm enjoying about it is sort of that initially, like, the progression of a game is like this cool tension that I feel as a monster. I feel hunted early on. In late game, I feel a lot more powerful, right? Like, I'm really looking over my shoulder constantly. I'm using that smell ability to sort of see what stuff is around me.
Oh, I didn't even know you had that.
Yeah, so I can like emit this like radial thing that like reveals stuff like an X-ray pattern. Early game, I'm just like trying to eat stuff and get bigger, gain more armor, gain more abilities. And late game, like trying to like pick the right moment to engage you guys. Yeah, so that kind of like shift from like prey to predator or whatever is pretty interesting. Yeah.
There's a ton of pressure on us right away. Like, we don't know which direction you've gone. We need to find a clue, some prints. So it does bring out like the angry team management part of me which I think happens to everyone. But when your team is lagging behind, or you're saying like, I found prints over here and they're off doing something way over there, flying around with their jetpacks, shooting at wildlife, which you should not do because there's no real benefit. I mean, there are benefits, but you got to find the monster. Like, there's this huge pressure. Find it before, because we get a notification every time you go to a new stage. So I was yelling at my team a lot. Medic, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? If you're the medic and you're lagging behind, your team is in so much trouble.
I mean, movement is a big skill on both sides. I think, you know, the monster clambering and like knowing how to spam and like monitoring the cooldown of my flying and my like flying thrust ability basically is really important. With the Goliath, he has like a leaping jump attack. But yeah, I mean, so far it's like, you know, this game's coming out in February, it was originally coming in October. They still haven't showed us that much. There are 2 monsters and like 2 or 3 maps revealed, and 8 hunters. And presumably there's going to be at least 3 or 4 monsters. They told me here at PAX that there's going to be more monsters revealed until, you know, before they come out, of course. But, you know, remains to be seen how asymmetrical, how different those are.
Yeah, I don't know, and stuff. We want it to be moddable and so on,
and
they
very much so.
They have said it's not ruled out, which means not at launch.
Yeah, but meanwhile, we do know they're going to be selling DLC. You know, they basically suggested they're going to be selling monsters and maps and stuff, which, you know, we expect. Like 2K as their publisher, you look at Borderlands and they have like dozens of pieces of discrete DLC you can pick up, so it's not a big surprise. But yeah, just really holding it out for moddability, because I think that's going to prolong the life of this game, as it was the case for Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, I think it needs it, and it's Turtle Rock though, so we can trust it's on their minds, whatever the business plan is.
Yeah, as a shooter though, what I like about it, I mean, as like a hardcore FPS player, I love that movement is such a big skill. I love that I have to monitor like my jetpack usage and be careful about that. I love these little like skill moments with movement of like, can I reach this cliff? Can I surprise you guys by using stealth? Like at one point, by walking in water, for example, I don't leave those footprints on the ground.
I was noticing that as I was trying to track you.
Yeah.
I saw like a river and I was like, oh man, this is the scene in every movie where they're tracking something and they go,
and it arrives at a river and
we lose its scent. And I was like, no. And then I saw you disturb some birds.
Yeah.
The one thing for me is that like I'm really reliant on the UI. I think like I'm looking for the notification that says monster disturbed birds.
Yeah.
I'm looking for assault and medic. I'm not looking at the character models, I'm looking at their names. I even found you and there was this pause before I start attacking you when I'm going like, is that wildlife? And then I see the word monster and go, oh.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah. In an opposite way, but a similar way, I can sort of feel like, having a third-person camera as the monster, I sort of feel like I'm punching like these tiny light bars rather than characters. It doesn't feel as personal as like the tank in Left 4 Dead or any other special effect in Left 4 Dead where I had that first-person camera. Yeah, like I agree that I need sort of the peripheral vision when I'm flying, when I'm clambering over stuff, when I'm like looking around me, looking over my shoulder. I need to see my shoulder, I guess. But I do also wonder what the game would feel like with a first-person monster camera, how the movement would feel.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But
yeah, I mean, it's still like it remains one of the best-looking games. Period. Coming out in the next 6 months. It's on CryEngine 3.
It was snowing while we were playing.
It was snowing. That was kind of cool. Kind of affected both teams equally in a negative way, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, their particle effects are amazing. I think their lighting's fantastic. What it comes down to me are they going to be able to deliver enough variety, just enough content at launch? Like if it's 4 maps and it's 3 monsters, they're going to need DLC really quickly. They're going to need free stuff really quickly just to, because like people are going to be putting in dozens of hours immediately into that game as a competitive game. So and there's also like, is matchmaking going to be well designed enough to like sort of separate the casual players from like the people who are putting in like.
If someone's just a brilliant monster, they've done 500 matches as the monster, you don't want to be going against them first.
Yeah, and like the cool thing about Evolve, I think it supports that kind of casual experience. I think it supports like, if you just want to play on a weekends, you don't have to have studied YouTube videos about what routes you need to take and stuff like that, hopefully.
It's not tribes, no.
Yeah, so remains one of the most promising PC games out there right now.
I'm excited. Remains
to be seen some of the PC features, optimization, modding, and stuff like that we're really holding out for, but asymmetrical competitive shooter, that's something like you and I are always advocating for more of. We talk about Rising Storm, we talk about Tribes and stuff in the office, and other class-based shooters, so yeah, we'll see. February 15th or 14th, I think.
Sometime around
is the release date, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a good February.
Yeah, and I guess we're gonna get a chance to see it at another show. I'm not sure which one, but they mentioned that to me too, so.
Hopefully we get to play a new monster or new hunters. We didn't have an ending there planned, but.
That was a great ending. What are you talking about?
All right, I'm here with Yellowbird and Paximouse here at the PAX 2014 International Global Super Cyber Championship Elite League. Guys, playing Inferno, CT side, you expect to win this half, right? Be honest.
Of course.
Playing on unranked accounts. Yellowbird holding it down here really in mid in the warm-up, just showing us what he can do. All right, guys, what's the strategy here going into Inferno CT side? You're gonna kind of hold it down with a conventional 3-2, 2 playing B?
I'm gonna try to hold mid with an op this game. That'd be nice, and have him on backside, and then get these 2 randoms on B. That'd be probably the best strategy to go with.
How confident you say you are in your pistol skills?
Pretty awful.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Tyler. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah, so you just came back from Gamescom like, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, so we did a big, so it was a pretty big presentation. We outlined what's going out in version 0.9 of Arena Commander. So the Arena Commander, which is sort of the space dogfighting part that people can play right now, is version 0.8, and that came out in June of this year. And so the next drop, the big drop, because we've been doing patches along the way, is V0.9, and V0.9 has a whole bunch of new stuff, a couple of new game modes. It has a whole separate sort of race mode where you go around this whole Formula One sort of space racetrack. It's very cool. And a co-op mode where you can fight against the Vandal, which is sort of the big alien menace in the universe of Star Citizen. bunch of flight mode improvements, HUD improvements, sound improvements. So we're outlining that, as well as all the hangars that you are based in, that we sort of first gave everyone a year ago, have been totally redone, redesigned, upgraded to PBR, made much more modular and flexible. So it's a fairly big drop for all the backers. And then after that, we did a preview of something we're working on that I think everyone's pretty excited by, and I'm definitely excited by. It's the multi-crew ship combat, which is sort of the bigger ships. In this case, we're showing on the Constellation, which is sort of a 4-person ship.
So how does it actually work? How do I log in and my friends log in and we're all in the same ship? Do we have to physically go to a station and get in? Or can we just kind of spawn on each other inside ships?
So there's 2 ways that you'll be able to do it in the final game. In the early stages of Arena Commander, where we let you fly the bigger ships around, you'll just be able to sort of do it from a lobby screen. But in the proper persistent universe, when that's running, if your player character wants to fly on my ship, we have to be on the same planet, and I invite you into the ship and you get onto it. But if there's one other mode that you can do, is I can hire NPCs to sort of be the, be the engineer on my ship, or be a gunner or something. And if I'm flying out in space, I could invite my friends to sort of basically take over and control the NPC, but that's not the same as your player character being on my ship. So there's 2 ways to do it. So you can invite your friends, like, oh, I'm going to get into a fight. Hey, I'd love some assistance for you to run the gunner character, or run the engineer character. And that's sort of more, I guess, I don't know, bad example would be like the Matrix style of Agent Smith warping in and now you're in control of that person. But the in-fiction way, if you as a character wanted to fly on my crew, is we would have to meet up on one planet, and then you would get on board my ship, and then we would take off.
What's the next major milestone then? I mean, you're talking about an update to Arena Commander, but what's the next big release where we're going to see something new? Even something like that. Can we have that now?
First-person shooting? Well, the multi-crew combat's Arena Commander 2.0. So our current timeline is we're shooting to try and have Arena Commander 1.0 by October. Hopefully, we'll see if we can make it for a Citizen Con, which is our sort of anniversary of the initial crowdfunding campaign, October 10th. If not, it'll be pretty soon after that. But essentially, V1.0 has a full lobby system and the full leaderboard. So it has the functionality where you can play with your friends, invite other people, have publicly tracked matches, like basically all the kind of things that something like a World of Tanks would have, but without the persistent universe. And that's going to be in October, and then at the very end of October, we're going to demo in PAX Australia, so we're here at PAX Prime. But in PAX Australia, we're going to show the first-person shooter for the very first time, a sort of demo example of that, which I think people will like. It's going to be very cool. And then beginning of next year, we're going to start to roll out some of the persistent universe parts. So the planet side module to allow you to leave your hangar, go and visit a few places, and buy and sell things in a shop or go into a bar. And beyond that will be the first episode of Squadron 42, which we're planning to release sort of middle of next year. And that's a single player campaign that's very much like a sort of Wing Commander style narrative set in the big sandbox that Star Citizen is.
So yeah, 2012, I think is when you came with a giant laptop and showed me the first
big Alienware
prototype. And I think in the first article I wrote about Star Citizen, you had said something like, we think we'll get 2 or 3 million from the crowd, and then we'll look for some funding. At that time, when you came and showed me that, where did you think you would be now? Did you think the scope would be like this with this much money raised and this many stretch goals, and you have ground combat and the persistent universe keeps growing?
No. The simple answer is no. I had no idea. I mean, when I stop to think about it, I'm pretty blown away by the response and support that we've had from everybody out there. So thank you all the people out there that have done that. But I would never have guessed. I thought we would have had to have a much more constrained version of the game, sort of get out sort of an alpha version that we could sell, and then from the money use that to sort of add all these extra features that I want to have in the big universe. And with the support we have now, a lot of the stuff that I thought was going to be down the road, we can be delivering much sooner, which is great. So I'm a very happy camper.
I think the biggest criticism is not so much of the idea of the game or the plans, it's the fear of overpromising, that you've overpromised and that what you pitched in 2012 is now ballooned into something unmanageable. How do you manage those expectations? And do you think that hitting deadlines and stuff or not hitting them is eroding any confidence? Or
there's a couple of things. One, since we're an online game, we're always constantly deploying builds and patches, so it's not the same as a sort of console title or an old school PC game where you had to put it all on a disc and ship it out to the stores to get it. And so therefore, like, if you wanted to add these extra features, you couldn't ship until the extra features were in. So the way we look at it is like, if we say, okay, we're going to add this extra feature or there's this stretch goal, it's not saying that the game is being held up until that's done. It's basically saying this is a feature you will get at some point. So there's a lot of stuff that we've said we will have in the game, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be today or tomorrow, or even when we say, okay, this is the basic functionality of Star Citizen where you can go from planet to planet and trade and adventure around the universe. So I think that's one aspect that sort of counters the feature creep, because essentially what we're really doing is mapping out the sort of game pipeline, or the game feature list over time, so people go, oh yeah, that's a cool feature, that will be in the game at some point, whereas in the past maybe you wouldn't know that until much later on. As far as sort of deadlines and schedules, I mean, we do have the one issue of we're building this completely open, right? Like there's no like hiding it. We don't have a big PR like Sheen. It's not like a publisher that keeps it behind closed doors for really 3 months. So anything like even the publisher games that everyone thinks is unscheduled and done, they all move around their schedules. They'll be a month late here, or 6 months late, or even in some cases years late. So I actually think compared to what we're doing and what we're achieving, we're doing a pretty good job. I know we're not exactly on schedule, but it's software development and it's big and complicated. We have a lot of people working on the game, and so just getting all that to work and scaling up takes time. But I mean, I definitely think if you take a look at like Arena Commander and you're playing it now, and especially what will drop in a week's time, I mean, that's a lot of people ship that as a game, and we got a whole bunch more that's coming. So I'm pretty happy with where we're at, and I'm pretty proud of the team because they've all been killing themselves for the last 2 years to try and make the best game they possibly can.
All right, I better let you go.
No problem.
Thanks so much for talking. But we have Acer's laptop coming from Magic for you to sign that we're giving away.
Awesome.
What rank are you in Counter-Strike?
I don't know, I just started like a couple weeks ago, so like Silver 4 or something.
Cool, all right. Sounds good, sounds good.
What are you?
I'm a Master Elite Eagle Chalupa Burrito.
Brag about it.
It's pretty good. I play a lot.
Tim, how's it going?
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're here
at
at
our booth.
Yeah, you guys are showing off Massive Chalice and Gang Beasts, which just became available today.
Yeah, by Bone Loaf. It's one of our Double Fine Presents games. The first time we've ever shown like a Double Fine Presents game. No, we showed a little Scapegoat last time and some Last Life, but now you can come play the game that you can it's out today.
Great. So you guys are sort of, I mean, with Double Fine Presents, you're sort of taking on this like small publisher role. Can you talk about how that came about and what your plans are for it in the future?
Yeah, we started Double Fine Presents just because we realized that even though we were still making small indie games, we had been doing a lot of things for a long time and had been through like the AAA process, and so we knew a lot about the cycles of how you get excitement about a game, get the word out, get it, who to contact at the various portals to get it distributed. And we thought we could help other indies who have not been through that process, get in touch with the right people, and it wouldn't be something where we'd have to like fund their whole project and therefore own it and take all the money and all that stuff. Just a lot lighter touch where we're just helping them, and it's turned out really great. It's really been just being associated with these great games is really fun for us, and getting to play them. And And so it's just been really a lot of fun. I think a lot of benefit for everybody.
Yeah, so you guys have been around for 14 years now, since 2000, I think.
14 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you're sort of have this publishing role through Double Fine Presents. You have sort of an interesting internal game jam. What do you think it means to be indie right now in 2014? Do you guys consider yourself an indie studio?
You know, it's always been such a loaded word for a lot of people, and indie means, to some people, it's about ownership of the studio, and some people it's about the aesthetic or the the motive behind the game or the makers, or sometimes it just seems like it's a club. But I think to me, indie has always meant that there is a large machine that makes a lot of the entertainment that you experience. You know, whether it's the studios in Hollywood or big game publishers, a machine that makes them, and a lot of people feel that that machine has a corrupting influence on the art of the creative work being made. And I think just making a game outside of that machine is, to me, what being independent really means. And that's the most important part of it to me, because I feel like you're then getting something that is different because it's been made outside of those influences.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see someone like Activision bring back like the Sierra label as sort of their indie experimentation franchise. I mean, it's good to see them pursuing it, but it's also they're sort of co-opting an old brand and bringing it back.
Well, it does seem like a lot of publishers have recognized the kind of boom in the indie space, you know, and they're like, how can I get some of that? And so that may work or it may not work, but I'm glad to see people seeing value in those smaller games. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for talking with us. So we're giving away this cool laptop. I'd like to have you sign.
You're giving me a laptop? Right. That's so exciting.
Well, you get to hold it for a moment.
Thank you so much. I don't know what I've done to deserve this.
Well, yeah, we want to put your fancy signature on it for someone excited. It's
like a
happy
fancy gaming machine.
I know.
Wait, who's that?
That's Chris Roberts. I know. So you can just cross him out if you want.
How many more people are going to sign it? A lot, right?
You're fine, yeah.
So I should take up the whole space.
Yeah.
This is my laptop. If found, return to Tim Schafer. All right.
We'll add a sticker. Cool.
Nathan going with his usual compliment here of Incendiary and Flashbang. Excellent choice. And the M4. The CT side sitting comfortable with all their money here. Sitting on a pile of cash like Scrooge McDuck, but much more well armed. And the CT player op picks one off at the outset here. Nathan just wants to get information here and see if there's anyone pushing through B. And he sees one. Oh, terrific kill. Right in the back, leading up to a headshot with the spray there from Nathan. Excellent. It's going to leave them in a 5-on-3 situation, very advantageous with the remaining Terracide members. Oh, stuck in long A. There goes one. 5-on-2, 5-on-1. Joey Blue with the auto sniper. Things looking very good here. Should be no problem to wrap up this round and enter the next half 9-6. Last remaining Terracide member just holding on an op, looking for some opportunities, looking for some kills. 50 seconds left in the round. All the CTs need to do here is just sort of hold down, play defensively, not push, not get themselves killed. But Nathan sees him, and he nice dodge there by Nathan. Auto sniper versus op here. Nathan's trying to push out in the spawn, sees him in T-spawn, dodges a grenade. Oh, picks up the kill in the feet. Well done, Nathan. Tyler, I love PAX.
It's a lot of fun.
It's also kind of weird though. Like video game conventions as a concept, like people waiting in lines to play video games that will be out in 2 months anyway or something.
Yeah,
like,
you're in a huge line to play Evolve, which, I mean, to the credit of that game, it was delayed till next year, but still only a few months, and with like yearly releases, you're kind of coming to see the new Assassin's Creed trailer for the Assassin's Creed game you're going to play in a couple months.
Yeah. So I don't know, is that like me or you being cynical? Like we've been doing this for 5 or 6 years, and
yeah,
we get access a little bit early usually. We have to play these games throughout the year. Like, I don't know, for someone like that doesn't come, like, loves Assassin's Creed, like they're willing to wait in line.
It's exciting.
That's an entertaining experience, I'm sure.
And they're there with other fans, and that's exciting. I don't think we want to be too cynical about that, but it is like, it is a celebration of marketing where people are carrying around these huge tote bags with swag and getting stuff, and it's kind of weird. I mean, it's just like consumers coming to consume stuff, and I think what we love more so is the communities that come and go to panels and play tabletop games together and go down to the LAN area and play CSGO or whatever it is they're playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really that I would have killed for, you know, when I was growing up in the 90s and stuff in PC gaming, like having this massive space with 70,000 people over 4 days that like most of them share what I'm interested in, you know, and I can enter tournaments with them and I can form those friendships and come back next year. And I don't know, if I was that person coming to PAX for the first time, that's what I'd be seeking out, not like opportunities to wait in line to receive like free t-shirts and stuff. And like, I don't want to like talk down to people, I don't want to like disrespect anybody by saying that, but it's also like, I don't know, the money you invest traveling out here, the money you invest like getting a hotel, it's,
yeah,
you know,
no, totally.
You should be coming here for the people, not be,
I really
not
think
to
so.
be exposed to brands or whatever.
Because I mean, you've seen a million ads, and even like I love the indie booth, but a lot of those games are on early access. So
yeah. I mean, from a media perspective, it's like, honestly, conventions are becoming a little bit less relevant for us because, you know, we come here, we've either like seen stuff 3 or 4 times already this year, or we can just play it right now, you know, and it's good to, you know, shake hands with the people who are making it and get, you know, hear things from them and what they're working on. And
I think that's what's great for fans of those games, like at the Indie Megabooth, is that like they get to go there, and rather than like the literal wall you have with like the big booths, your EAs and stuff, where it's like consumer and then creator is behind this wall, like literally the creative developer, designer of the game is inside a little room and they're doing interviews. And in the indie, you know, booth, it's just the creator is the person demoing the game usually.
It's like a video game bake sale, you know. It's just like it's the cupcakes are right on the table, and you can ask them what they put in them.
And it's like this year, Unreal Engine has a presence here at PAX, and I think that's really telling. This is a consumer show for people who consume games, and yet here's an engine. It's just more and more, I think PC gaming has always been about that blurring line between consumer and creator. And I think it's getting bigger where it's like you can subscribe to the Unreal Engine or CryEngine and start learning it. People are just teaching themselves. Unity obviously has been huge in making games, and then suddenly they're on the other side of the line demoing a game in the indie booth, which is really cool.
And honestly, I don't know, I mean, you look back at, say, like, the mid-2000s were not the strongest time for PC gaming. That's when you saw a lot of that rhetoric about PC gaming is dying, because, you know, like, Xbox was coming and PlayStation 2 is out there. And I think, you know, like, maybe that was part of it. It was also, like, we didn't have the infrastructure and the accessibility for stuff like Unity, for stuff like Unreal. Like, Unreal back then was much more challenging to use. And even though, like, the assets were lower fidelity and stuff like that, you know, Game Maker and Unity, you can just download that stuff and kind of with like minimal knowledge or a little bit of help and some tutorials, like get going and start making stuff.
Totally teach yourself. And yeah, there was that period, like 2000s, where it was like you got a few great PC games, like thanks Valve for that. And then you got worse versions of a lot of console games. And now there's just so many PC exclusives, not because anyone's going, oh, we don't like consoles, but because, look, we can do this for free without buying a license or anything. We can, you know, pay a subscription for an engine or, you know, get something free, and we can just make it here and then contact Valve, and, you know, it's on Steam. And, I mean, it's not that easy. It's getting easier, though, clearly, as far as, you know, Valve's process of deciding what goes on Steam. Like, there are so many games. We can't keep up with the number of games releasing. I need to hire someone, Evan, just to sit and play every new game on Steam.
I mean, we've generally talked about this. Like, we need an intern to just handle early access, and that's all they do. And just be like, should we write about this?
There are 5 or 6 every week. We can, you know, trying to figure out which are important engineering is so hard. And so, like, PAX and the Indie Megabooth is great, but it is such a small slice of what is happening. Like, there are like 4 or 5 games that I see all the time, and a few, like, I guess, indie publishers, which is kind of an oxymoron, but, you know, sort of small publishers who publish games. Devolver comes to mind. Who always have a presence and kind of use their PR to get out there and talk to us. But then there's like so much stuff that surprises us that goes like where did spin tires come from? Where's this weird, Russian game about driving in mud? That just came out of nowhere for us. So it's hard to keep up, but PC gaming is obviously thriving right now.
I think what makes me happiest is that PAX is a reflection of PC gaming. I don't know if it reflected PC gaming a few years ago, where the Megabooth wasn't as mega or didn't even exist back then. But yeah, I mean, it's great that, again, the PC doesn't need this like corporate entity to represent it and to like push it forward. And actually, like, it kind of has a few of those corporate entities pushing it forward. Like, I mean, the Megabooth is in part sponsored by Intel. Those guys see the value there, and some other companies that donate equipment and stuff like that. Like, they understand that that's a big part of the experience and a big part of like their future and like why people are buying hardware, for example. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool. The PC is great. Everywhere. I mean, everywhere you look at PAX, I think people know FTL and they know like Hotline Miami, and not from the Vita.
Yeah, definitely not. But if we were encouraging someone to come here, if I was talking to a cousin or like someone younger than me who's like really into PC gaming but hadn't traveled out here, I just say like get really involved in the social experience, and like if you play games with people online, like get them to come here with you too, because it just enhances the experience hands down. Like if you are waiting in lines, to do it with somebody else, to like enter tournaments with somebody else, to go to the panels you care about with somebody else, like just hands down makes it a much better experience.
Dress up like an animal in Ubisoft's cage and fight another animal costumed person. It's so weird. Sometimes PAX is really weird.
That's probably one of the weirdest marketing. I mean, maybe it's working because we're talking about it.
It's true.
But so yeah, like Ubisoft, they had people sign waivers and then fight in this like weird cage match as some representation in animal costumes, as some representation of Far Cry 4.
There's animals in Far Cry, right? So.
And they fight and you fight them. I don't know. It's pretty weird.
It's bizarre but fun. Yeah, I would say, yeah, come with friends, go to panels of stuff you're passionate about. That's great, because you get to just meet those people, after the panel. I mean, if Tim Schafer's on a panel or whatever, just as an example, like, that's really cool. That's way more fun than standing in line. Granted, you stood in line for the panel, but standing in line to play Evolve is cool, but you're playing one session, and, maybe I'm just, like, getting a little older and I'm going, like, I can wait. I can wait till the game releases.
Yeah.
Obviously, I actually can't because I have to write about it, but yeah, it's just more fun to be around the people than the brands.
All right, Tyler. Well, here's to you, my PAX buddy. Thanks for sticking with me through PAX 2014.
It's been fun.
Yes.